Imagine holding a human brain in your hands, knowing that every tiny movement could change someone's memory, personality, or entire future. For the last 25 years, I've watched brains heal, struggle, and sometimes transform in incredible ways. And here is the shocking truth. The everyday food on your plate can quietly sharpen or slowly sabotage that same powerful organ. Stay with me for a few minutes, because the 5 foods I am about to share, 1T. Just fill your stomach, they can help your brain think clearer, remember more, and age better. Let's start with something simple. Your brain is not a machine made of metal. It is living tissue, soft as butter, hungry for energy, and unbelievably delicate. It runs non-stop when you think, when you sleep, when you worry, when you dream, and every single cell inside it depends on the nutrients you give your body. Over the years in operating rooms, I've seen healthy brains and damaged ones, young brains that looked old, and older brains that looked surprisingly youthful. One of the biggest differences was lifestyle, and food was at the center of it. Most people believe brain problems arrive suddenly, like a switch turning off. In reality, the brain changes slowly over years. Memory doesn't suddenly get worse. Focus doesn't suddenly disappear. Mood doesn't suddenly drop. The process is quiet, daily, and often begins with what's on the plate. That's why these 5 foods matter. They don't work like magic pills. They support the brain in the background, protecting its cells, blood vessels, and communication lines. Before we name the first food, I want you to picture someone you know who always forgets where they put their phone, loses track of conversations, or struggles to find simple words. Now picture someone else their same age who is sharp, curious, and mentally quick. That difference is not just genes or luck. It is years of tiny choices. And food is one of the biggest brain-loving food is fatty fish such as salmon, sardines, and mackerel. Your brain is nearly 60% fat, and a major part of that fat is DHA, a type of omega-3. Think of omega-3 south like oil for a door hinge. Without it, the hinge squeaks, stiffens, and wears out. With enough of it, everything moves smoothly. The brain's billions of neurons talk to each other through connections, and omega-3 south help those connections stay flexible and responsive. People who regularly eat omega-3 rich fish often report clearer thinking, steadier mood, and less mental fatigue. In hospitals, when we studied brain scans, we often saw that people with higher omega-3 levels tended to have healthier brain tissue and better blood flow. But there's a twist. The modern diet is flooded with the opposite type of fats, the ones that promote inflammation, deep-fried foods, cheap oils, fast food snacks. Inflammation is not just about swollen joints. In the brain, it acts like slow rust on wiring, damaging memory and speed of thinking. That is why including fish 2 to 3 times a week can make such a difference. For those who don't eat fish, walnuts, flax seeds, and chia seeds also help, though the conversion in the body is less efficient. The goal is not perfection, just progress. A little less processed fats, a little more omega-3. Over years, your brain feels that difference. The second powerful food is berries, blueberries, strawberries, blackberries. They look small and innocent, but they are loaded with natural compounds called flavonoids that act like tiny bodyguards for brain cells. Throughout your life, your brain is attacked by stress, pollution, lack of sleep, and poor diet. These create oxidative stress, which is like biological rusting. Berries fight that rust. In long-term observations of people's diets and brain function, those who regularly ate berries tended to perform better on memory tasks and showed slower cognitive decline as they aged. Let me share a simple picture. Imagine your brain as a busy city at night seen from above. Billions of lights are turning on and off as neurons fire. Over time, wear and tear dim some of those lights. Berries don't turn you into a genius overnight, but they help keep those lights brighter for longer. Patients often asked me, "Doctor, what one thing should I start with?" And my answer was usually not a pill. It was, add color to your plate. The darker and richer the color of berries, the more protective compounds they tend to have. A handful a day is enough to begin changing the chemistry inside your brain. Now, here's something many people don't realize. Brain health isn't only about memory. It's also about mood, motivation, sleep, and even your ability to handle stress. When people improved their diets, they often came back and said, "I feel lighter in my mind," long before any test results changed. That's because brain chemistry responds to nutrients, and berries influence areas linked to mood regulation as well as memory. Now, we arrive at the fifth food, one that surprises many people because it feels like a treat rather than health food. That food is dark chocolate. Real dark chocolate with high cocoa content, not sugary candy bars. Cocoa is rich in flavonols that support blood flow to the brain and help neurons communicate more efficiently. People often notice improved mood after chocolate, and that isn't just emotion, it's chemistry. Cocoa influences neurotransmitters like serotonin and can gently lift mental energy and motivation. But there's an important detail. The benefit comes from cocoa itself, not from heavy sugar and cream. So we're talking about small amounts of dark chocolate, not large desserts disguised as health foods. A few squares of quality dark chocolate can become a daily ritual that both feels enjoyable and supports brain health. Over time, that combination of pleasure and benefit makes it easier to stick with. Now take a step back and look at all 5 fatty fish, berries, leafy greens, nuts and seeds, and dark chocolate. They are simple, familiar, and available in most places. Yet together they form a powerful pattern, lowering inflammation, improving blood flow, nourishing neurons, and protecting memory as the years pass. Your brain does not change from one giant decision. It changes from 1,000 small, repeated choices. In the next part, we'll connect these foods to daily life, how to combine them, common mistakes people make, how sugar and ultra-processed foods quietly work against your brain, and small daily habits that either accelerate aging or protect your mental sharpness for decades. We'll also talk about what I've seen in the operating room that permanently changed how I personally eat. When you look inside the operating room, you realize something most people never see. The brain is incredibly delicate, yet incredibly dependent on your daily habits. It is usually the quiet accumulation of choices over many years, and food is one of the most powerful daily choices you make, whether consciously or unconsciously. So, how do you actually bring these 5 brain-boosting foods into real life? Start simple. Instead of trying to change your entire diet in one day, attach one new habit to an existing one. If you already eat breakfast, add berries or a handful of nuts. If you pack lunch, add leafy greens to whatever you were already going to eat. If you enjoy evening tea, have a small piece of dark chocolate alongside it. Consistency always beats perfection. Many of my patients failed not because they didn't know what to eat, but because they tried to change everything at once and then burned out. Another powerful idea is to think in combinations. A salad with leafy greens, sprinkled with nuts, and topped with grilled fish isn't just a meal, it's a concentrated brain support system. A smoothie with berries and spinach provides antioxidants and nitrates together. These foods don't work as isolated magic bullets. They work as a team. Your brain thrives when inflammation is low, blood sugar is steady, and nutrients are available all day long. These foods help on all 3 fronts. Now, it's also important to talk about the enemies of the brain, because what you remove matters as much as what you add. Diets high in refined sugar, trans fats, and ultra-processed snacks slowly damage blood vessels, increase inflammation, and stress the brain's support systems. In simple words, they make the brain's job harder every single day. Many people blame age for memory problems that are actually lifestyle problems. Age happens to everyone. Damage does not have to. Sleep, hydration, and movement also play powerful roles. You can eat the best brain foods in the world, but if you sleep very little, stay dehydrated, or never move your body, your brain will still struggle. Sleep is when your brain performs deep cleaning, removing waste products that build up during the day. Water helps nutrients reach the brain and keeps electrical signaling stable. Physical activity increases a growth factor in the brain called BDNF, which acts like fertilizer for new connections. Food, sleep, water, and movement together form the strongest protection. Something I wish more people knew is that it is never too late to support your brain. I have seen patients in their 60s and 70s make changes and still experience clearer thinking, better mood, and improved focus. The brain is adaptable. It is constantly rewiring itself based on how you use it and how you feed it. Even small changes done daily create surprisingly large differences over the years. So as you move forward, remember this. Your brain is the control center of your life, your memories, your personality, your dreams, your relationships. Everything flows through it. If you protect it, everything else in life becomes easier. If you neglect it, everything becomes harder. These 5 foods are not trends or fads. They are long-term allies for the most important organ you have. Your future clarity, your ability to think fast, to remember names, to stay independent, to enjoy conversations, to learn new skills. All of that is connected to the choices on your plate today. You don't need extreme diets or complicated supplements to begin. You just need awareness and commitment to small daily actions that honor your brain. Your brain has carried you through every moment of your life so far, every laugh, every tear, every idea, every achievement. Treating it well is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. When you choose brain-loving foods, when you sleep well, hydrate, move, and reduce stress, you are not just preventing disease, you are building a sharper, calmer, more focused version of yourself. The change doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen quietly and powerfully. Start today with one small decision and let it grow into a lifestyle. Your future self will thank you for the clarity, the memory, and the peace of mind you protect today.